Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Manzoor Memon. I am executive producer of PBC TV network. This internet-based television network produces documentaries and other episodes on financial fraud. Today's episode is focused on Pakistani election. I was born in Shikarpur, Sindh in 1951, and part of my family lived in Ladkana, Sindh, where they were involved in political system. When I was 7 years old, started interest in political system of Pakistan and followed through till today. I follow Pakistani politics as well as American politics. I'm not a politician. I am more called as a reformist, that I watch the people what they do in politics. Politics, in my view, is for public service, to serve the people. In the old times, it was for public service, but now it has become more of a business. And you have to see in every election what the people are going to achieve, how the people are going to get financial gain from the elections, and are they going to really work for the poor people of their country or not. This is where I come in and give my comments and try to give suggestions to the leaders that what they should be doing for the betterment of their people and the society in general. In Pakistan, since 1970, there has been no elections, in my view. There were elections, but they were more controlled by the establishment, by rich and famous, and armed forces of Pakistan, who play a pivotal role in political system of Pakistan. This is the first time in 2018 that we see that a very normal, transparent, and honest election has been held. Now, the results which came in were predicted by me one night before election, and it's almost the same prediction what a lot of people did, that Pakistan right now is divided, and we have got three parties: PTI, Pakistan Muslim League, and People's Party, who are kind of a ruling parties since so many years, except PTI has just emerged as a force. Now the thing is, PTI has a big challenge right now to form the government. If you see the results, what we see, the PTI has received 114 seats out of 272 seats, okay, which means they cannot form a government until they go and align themselves with somebody else. Muslim League has 65 seats, and People's Party has 39 seats. Now, the dilemma with PTI would be who to align it, and we'll see in next couple of days who they are going to align it and form the government. One more possibility is this: the PTI can form government without Muslim League and without People's Party by getting all the independents, MQM, BNP, GDA. If you do all of them, they might be able to form a government. But in case they do that these smaller parties who will have a kind of a inner control on the government, and PTI will have to give certain ministries to these people to get their votes. So most probably right now Imran Khan must be thinking which way to go. Should I go with People's Party? We know that they will not be able to go with the Muslim League because they have already announced that they will not be part of the government. So now he has a choice between People's Party or independents and other people, and we'll see what decision he's going to make. I think they should keep People's Party and PML in opposition bench and they should form a government independently so they will have a better control on the government. But we'll see how Imran Khan is going to proceed. Pakistan has a lot of problems, and the biggest problem is corruption. But and throughout this campaign, the PTI has raised the voice about corruption. Now, how they are going to handle this corruption, there are some simple ways that they can eradicate corruption. But for that, the government has to be very strong. And the eradication of corruption has to be across the board. Not only the bureaucrats or politicians, but army and the businessmen. In my view, Pakistan's major problem is the business people who do not pay tax. They make these bureaucrats corrupt, they bribe them, and in the end, the whole society has become a model of corruption. So it will be a very critical thing for Imran to eradicate corruption. In my view, he should form a government without People's Party and PML, and then give a public amnesty to all these political parties who has taken all the money outside. That if they bring that money in 30 days back to Pakistan, and they pay so much tax on that money should stay in Pakistan. Right now, most of the politicians have already taken the money out of the country, and end of the day, Pakistan will have a big financial crisis coming in when there will be no dollars available in the state bank. So therefore, I think this might be a one-time cure to this cancer, will be give a public amnesty to these politicians that say, okay, you bring your money, you pay, say, 15 or 20% to the government treasury, and the rest of the 80% you keep in the country, invest it in the country so that the industrialization and economic improvement can be seen in the near future. But beside all that, what Pakistan had the biggest problem, which we are not seeing it, is the water problem. I did an episode on water problem in Sindh only, and we found it out that children are getting killed because we do not have pure water. So these are the few things which Imran Khan will have to deal with beside the corruption. First, economic and financial problems. Second, I think he should focus on water and power. If we do not have pure water, we do not have power in the country, Pakistan is not going to go forward. So we need to pay attention on water purification and the power generation. Another problem which they have it, of course, foreign policy. They have to see it right now. I don't think we have any foreign policy. Last 2 years, Pakistan has been running without any kind of established cabinet that they can negotiate any foreign deals with foreign powers. So in my view, Imran Khan has an age that he can negotiate deals with the United States, Russia, Afghanistan, Iran, India. The good thing is that in his public address he's talked about a kind of a no war pact indirectly with India, that we should not fight wars, we should focus on the development of the people to get their economic conditions better rather than having huge amounts used in the defense. Kashmir, of course, is one of the issues that they have to negotiate something. Good thing is that he has a good program, which he chalked it out, but is it going to work or not? We will see. In the past also, anybody who has come, they have talked about these problems, but how successful they have been in eradicating those problems and solving those problems has yet to be seen. In my view, Pakistan is still at the same place where it was 50 years ago. There has been, all institutions have been corroded. We need to establish our institutions. I think judiciary is doing good, that at least they are giving fair justice, but they need to be completely neutral from every party and give justice to the people of Pakistan. One new phenomena which they came in the this recent elections is this: a lot of established politicians, they had a hard time to get elected. Some of the people like Chaudhry Nisar, who was even rumored as to be the next Prime Minister of Pakistan, has lost. People, MQM, for example, has lost their base, in which Farooq Sattar, who was the leader of MQM, lost the election against Kamal Mustafa, who was the mayor of Karachi. So there is a change in people. I think the people have voted for the right candidate, which is that's what they are supposed to do. And there seems to be a change that PTI, who came in from Karachi also, they got some seats. But one fundamental thing remained, that in Punjab, Muslim League still have a full control. In Sindh, People's Party has a control. In Khyber Pakhtoon, PTI has a control. So now there will be a similar kind of a government like we had it before, when Muslim League was in power. Now PTI will be in the power, but in the provincial levels, these other parties will have a power. So there has to be a formula between these two, between all these parties, to run the country. The biggest challenge for Imran Khan will be that his enemies, his opponents, are looking at him to get a support from Jewish lobby, and because of his first wife being Jewish and his children being raised by her, there is a section of intellectuals and who think that Imran might have been elected through inner support from Jewish lobby. So he will have to address this issue because Pakistan is fundamentally an Islamic country, and it has been always at odds with Israel and the Jewish state. So it will be a challenge for Imran Khan to show that he is not a Jewish agent as they are labeling him, and he is a Muslim, devoted Muslim, and he is going to work for the benefit of Pakistani people, not to be a puppet of the foreign governments. So this will be his biggest challenge in my view. Of course, the corruption, foreign policy, water, power, and collecting taxes, corruption in particular in bureaucracy, but in politicians. The few things which I would recommend would be all the allotments of the government plots, which has been a source of big income for all these politicians. In last 10 years, last two governments, all those plots which have been given away to these politicians and their friends, they should be cancelled, they should be taken back and auctioned back to collect the money from for the treasury. Another thing is, I already talked about the money to bring it from foreign countries, all accounts. In case the people who have taken this government money and public money in foreign countries, in Swiss banks or in Panama and all those things where the billions of dollars are hiding by these political giants, if they do not accept this amnesty, then I think the government of Pakistan should do a proactive way to get those accounts, get them frozen with the Swiss banks and other countries, and try to bring that money public money back to the country. So it will be a big challenge for Imran to see how he can do it, because I think that might be the only way the Pakistani treasury can get some money and then be independent. Because if we have the money, then we will be able to go forward. Otherwise, it will be the same way. We'll be dependent, we'll be beggars, and coming to America, going to Russia, going to China, begging for money. So we don't want to be beggars. We want to create within ourselves an economic system where the people of Pakistan can flourish. One more thing which I saw in this election was still people of Pakistan are believing in Pakistan, not in provincial or national candidates. Most of the candidates who ran for election on the platform of provincialism failed. A lot of big names they lost. Some people held their ground very strong. For example, Sayyid Ghosali Shah, a very competent person, he lost from Khairpur versus Sayyid Qaim Ali Shah, his daughter Nafisa Shah, and then his nephew Javed Shah. They captured almost whole Khairpur area, which shows that the people are still in that dilemma of People's Party, but they are not seeing the competence of the people. In my view, people should vote based on the facts that what they have done for their constituents. Again, a very vocal guy, Zulfikar Mirza, lost election, but his wife, Dr. Fahmida Mirza, won the election. From Dadu, for example, Pir Madahar and his son Mujib won the election on the People's Party thing. So still I would say the people who have deep roots in that area, they are winning elections, and which is in a one way is basically a status quo in that area. But again, the thing is, we see a change that now the politicians will realize that if they do not work for the people, next election will be more difficult for them to win. So once again, I want to congratulate Imran Khan that he will be forming the government, and I hope that the people who are working with him, who a lot of them have been blamed for corruption in the past governments, he will keep them at distance, bring some honest people who have the feelings for the public and the poor people, so that they can do work for the poor. Good thing is that he has announced that he will not take much protocol and will not live in the Prime Minister's house and all that, which is good. The thing is, what we need to do is reduce the public spending, spend the money on the public projects. But again, my request to him would be water, power, education, corruption, and foreign policy. These are the 5 things he will have to work immediately within 90 days, come up with a program where people can see the difference. My commentary is based on my own personal feelings, and it has no personal bias to against any group or anything. I just bring up these issues after discussing with a lot of people. So if I offend anybody, I apologize for that. But again, the facts remain that these are the issues, and we need to resolve the issues. If we don't resolve the issues, we are not going to go forward. Thank you for listening, and we'll continue bringing this kind of episode to you to keep you aware that what is going on in our country, in Pakistan, in United States, and other countries where we have interests. Thank you, and have a good day.